Do you guys remember how I said that religion as we know it would crumble, but as people continued to heal and expand, what would be left of religion is the actual good stuff. The community, the true Christ-centered teachings, everything beneficial about religion would stay, but the toxic shit would crumble? Well, we are definitely seeing that, aren't we? Gia just said that. Now, I know we've seen a lot of this with the new Pope, Pope Leo, and in fact, the video I made very specifically about this was on May 8th, and it was specifically about the new Pope and how that would shape all of religion going forward. Well, today I have reshared two videos from two different pastors, two different religions, different congregations that are showing exactly this in their own beautiful, diverse ways. These two pastors are specifically calling out the hate of the alt-right that brands themselves as Christians when they actually are not. And by the way, if you're watching this on YouTube, I will include links to those videos in particular in the caption. Now, the reason I wanted to talk about this today is because those two videos very specifically call out Mr. CK and his legacy. And all of this plays into the bigger picture of we have to let it all crumble. Remember how Spirit has said that throughout. Many of us have been getting the Tower cards and we've been getting messages and insights about it has to all fall apart. It has to. It has to implode. It has to all fall apart. On the one hand, because we eventually need to make a completely clean slate and we can't be building from these corrupt old systems. We can't just be putting a Band-Aid on it and continuing to go on. But in addition, and more specifically, because the chaos is actually what is pushing all these things to the surface. Now, Christianity has long been due for a reckoning because of its history of colonization. I never could say that. Colonization. Yes. See, side note, this is how you know that I'm a true channel. Because real Gia, human Gia, I trip on my words. I can't get it out. But when I channel, flawless, seamless. Okay, moving on. There is so much corrupt in Christianity and so many horrific abuses and things have been committed under the umbrella of Christianity that it has long been due for a reckoning. And while many potential reckonings have come to the surface, like sex abuse in the Catholic Church, Mormonism has had a very similar reckoning. These things have broken through, but haven't resulted in mass changes as they should have. And that was largely because the energetic conditions, the state of consciousness of the world really wasn't ready for that. It didn't support widespread change. Now that energy and the expansion continues. And so widespread change is now possible because of where we're at energetically and because the minds of the people are ready. And because, full circle, all of this chaos and destruction is so loud that the entire culture is talking about it, or is at least aware of talking about it. If they're resisting the conversation or not, it's out there. You can't ignore it. And this really touches on something that's so important to understand in spirituality. And I talk about it a lot because it's key. It's key, and yet a lot of people miss it. And that is that when Spirit does a thing, just because it's divinely led, divinely orchestrated, does not mean that it is inherently peaceful, love, and light. Spirit can and will and does use destruction to move the greater good along. And we've gotten these twisted mindsets, again, because religion, that if you just pray and work hard, everything will be perfect. That is not true divinity. God does not protect you from bad things if you pray. And likewise, we cannot simply manifest our way to perfection. We have to work through the contrast and the physicality, work out our karmic lessons, go through pain and suffering. We have to surrender to the destruction so that we can be divinely rebuilt. And I just want that to be like a comforting message throughout all of this, because I've been out here for almost a year now. I have been out here holding that light and telling you guys that the destruction is purposeful. It is purposeful. And I know you OGs, you know this by now. But just as a reminder that as ugly and chaotic and painful and terrible as all this shit is out there in the world, everything is actually fueling divine purposes right now. It is useful. And it is more effective than ever. Now that everything is imploding so spectacularly, there's no stone left unturned. Everybody's paying attention. Everybody is being forced to reckon with all of it. And that, more than the specifics of this, is what makes this a true Gia Just Said That. I'm not as particularly concerned about the individual predictions I make, but it's about the overall energetic trends and the big picture that we're working toward. So every time I do a Gia Just Said That, it's not just me boosting my own ego, it's to remind you guys that, hey, yeah, we're still on the right track, and we can look and point and see these things as they are happening. This is bolstering the overall message that I've been sharing and we've had as our hope all along. The destruction is purposeful. The destruction is divine. The chaos is getting us somewhere good. And also, as much as we wanted a different white man in charge to meet an end, we got a different guy who met an end in a way that was really traumatic. It was really awful. It's caused a lot of chaos and uncertainty for people on both sides of the aisle. We can see now that we're a little further away from it as time keeps rolling on. We can see how things are being forced to the surface. The revelations are continuing and getting louder and louder, and ultimately they are serving the greater good. So just because things are chaotic does not also mean that they are not divine. They are divine. Divine purposes are being fulfilled. This is purposeful, this is useful, and it's getting us exactly where we want to go.